Welcome to Comfort Number 2. This is the only video I'm going to make tonight, so thank you to the 251 of you who are here. So I am currently looking at these gentlemen on TikTok having a discussion about Native Americans and black people. So I'm going to give you a couple seconds. This is actually live. I'm not going to show you the live just because, well, you can see right there.
So out of
I
that
don't want
gene
any
pool,
legal
the
problems.
rest of the world came out of that. So that's why there's not that much diversity in the rest of the world that there is in Africa, because we have these different divergence that happen in Africa, and these are different tribes and different groups of people, not just one group of people. You have the Khoi and the San, the Bushmen, the Kong, you have the Pygmies, the different Pygmy groups, you have West Africans, and you have East Africans, and then with the wide population bottleneck, in which, I know a lot of people don't know this, but a bottleneck in the population occurs for, many different reasons, but one reason is, the for us leaving out of Africa and it only coming from one particular group. Also, you have the bottleneck that happened with Native Americans because of the genocide and also the disease that was brought over here. And a lot of diversity that they had was shrunken down because of that.
Bro, I'm sorry, but you're literally stating something that's completely false right now. Like, legitimate. I can prove you wrong right now if you just stop talking for 1 minute, because you've been talking for over 5-6 minutes now, and you gave me only 3-4 minutes, and then you said I was talking too long. I just want to prove you wrong really easily right now. It's so simple.
Wait, okay, I'm gonna be done. I'm gonna show my image, and then I'm gonna let you go ahead and take the floor, because
all right,
you acting like a little kid, so I'm gonna let you go ahead and.
But you were literally cutting me off while I was talking, bro.
Nah, I was pretty patient. Only time I cut you off was when you try to speak for me. And I don't speak for you in none of my presentation. So when you're presenting, don't say nothing about my perspective of what I've went through in my life.
All I said was that
you said I didn't go through a study before, so.
No, I didn't say that. I said you're using a source that's not credible. I said that you're using a .com.
No, you said I didn't go through that study before about Albert Perry.
No, I did not. I never said that. You might have thought I said that.
You can run it back. You can just watch it back. Yeah, watch it back yourself.
Dave live, bro. You're the host, right? So you should be able to send it to me. Send me the screenshot of me saying that.
It ain't. Go ahead. I'm just gonna leave this in my background.
All right. You said go ahead. Please mute your mic for a second. Just like 3 seconds. All I need is literally about 2 minutes. I'm waiting for you to mute your mic. All right. So firstly, something that you guys are not understanding is that in order to have a genetic diversity doesn't mean that you don't possess. So for example, A would be the most genetically diverse haplogroup if it's the most ancient, because everything would break down from the most ancient DNA. Now he's talking about studies that are saying that there was other kinds of humans and this and that. That literally comes from eugenics. And I could pull up the actual article that was talking about the it's called like the genetic sequencing of the SNP site. That's talking about how everyone comes from Africa. They literally didn't test anybody that was black from any other region besides sub-Saharan Africa. So if they tested one group of sub-Saharan Africans, and then they tested Europeans, they tested Amerindians, they tested Mongoloid, Pacific Islanders, they tested obviously they didn't test any other groups of black people. They didn't even name Oceania. They didn't name the Sentinel Island people. And if they would have tested Oceania, if you go and do research, there's something called the Mungo Man. The Mungo Man automatically just proves that science, because they literally thought that the Mungo Man was some ancient genome, some different human being, when actually it was actually an anatomically modern genome. But this is what I was talking about right here.
So,
if you look at
there's a black guy
white baby
saying
that was born to
natives
two black parents,
are
two Nigerians that had a white
not
baby. I just want to
natives,
how
and there's another black guy saying natives are natives. That's pretty much where we're going with this.
Sees this genetic mutation that is visually
because for some reason,
and they like it,
black people are like so ashamed to be black.
Now, the thing is,
as a mixed person, I gotta shut this dude up because I know y'all can't hear me over this loud ass jackass. For some reason, a lot of black people have got it amongst themselves to just like straight up be ashamed of being black. And I'm not exactly precisely at peace with this. I'm mixed. Alright? I identify as mixed. And when people ask me, or if I gotta break it down, I tell the goddamn truth. I'm mixed. I am native. I am black. I am white. I am black. I am white. I am native. I am white. I am black. I am native. Why in the hell can't people just accept who they are? Now, I don't know if this guy's got native in him or not. I honestly don't give a goddamn. But what I do care about is that he's trying to erase one part of my fucking people. My great grandmother and my grandmother on my father's side are native. This jackass are saying that all the native on the East Coast are of black people and not Native Americans. Alright? What he fails to understand is that Native Americans' colors change regionally. The further up north you go, the lighter the native because of the weather being colder. The further out west and up north, as in Alaska, they are quite bright. You know, I had a friend who was half Inuit. He used to say Eskimo, but now Eskimo is considered a slur, so now we go by the actual name Inuit. I had a friend who's a Mohawk. Outside of his facial structure, looks like a white guy. No, his skin is pale. It's lighter than mine. He's the same guy that had to set the two light-skinned natives who told me I wasn't a pure native in their place. Yes, I know I'm wrong for threatening to roll one down the hill and threatening to roll the other one into traffic. But I was 23. In my defense, I was 23 and I had no censor. I'm 49 and I find myself censoring myself a lot. Alright? Now, I've only had two bad native experiences, and that was it. But with black people, I had a fucking more bad experiences than I can count on my fingers and my toes, and trying to prove my blackness was a fucking problem. You know? So guys like this guy, who keeps saying natives are not natives, that blacks are the original natives, and running around and jumping and digging and having all this fun with turkey feathers, it's not cool. Alright? Now, being ashamed to be descendants of slaves, what happened to Say It Out Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud by James Brown? What happened to that? What the fuck happened to that? Why have black people in 2022 and 2023 all of a sudden, we no longer proud to be black? We no longer proud to be part of history. We want to erase native history and put black people there. Yet, let's talk about native folklore. Because these people who are pretending to be natives that are black don't talk about Bigfoot and the bonds that natives had with Bigfoot before shit went wrong. Don't talk about Coyote the Trickster. Don't talk about the Deer Woman. Don't talk about Wendigo. Don't talk about the Skinwalkers. Don't talk about Chupacabra and other native deities. They don't talk about the little pygmies. They don't talk about the child snatchers at the lake. They don't talk about the water sprites that are also the child snatchers at the lake. But they're native. They don't do native dances or ceremonies on their page. I don't do that because I'm reconnecting. I never went to a powwow in my life. I would love to have gone to one, but we are so far removed from our heritage that we did not fucking do that. Only thing that I do remember is corn. And how much I fucking hate corn. I'm sorry if you're native. I hate corn. Okay? I've told you guys this story before. I'll tell it again. My grandmother on my dad's side, his mother, and her mother before her, they cooked for a living. And pancakes had corn in them. I fucking hate corn. I fucking hate corn, okay? Y'all get mad at me all over. I know I'm gonna get some smoke from natives, but I hate corn. And I'm scared of fucking horses, alright? Because I got bit by one as a child. So you can be mad all you fucking want. But it is what it is. I don't fuck with corn, and I don't fuck with horses. That's about the only negative you're gonna get from me as a native. I do not fuck with that shit. But let's get for real. I identify as mixed. Now, I should have been identifying as a Native American for my acting career. I just started that last year. I didn't do it because I didn't know if I would be received well. But James Williams Jr., or as you use my middle name, James Edward Williams Jr., sounds like the whitest white name in history. But Echo Fang Grey Wolf, that shit rolls off and sounds completely fucking native. And I should have did this when Evan Almighty came out. And you know, these things happen for a reason. And you live and you learn these lessons. And the lesson that I learned was I should have been acknowledging my native heritage way back when Evan Almighty came out. Because when Evan Almighty came out, this director, this producer, whatever her name was or whatever her job was, she literally walked to me and said, "Are you native?" And my dumb ass, instead of saying yes, I told the truth. I said, "I'm not full native. I'm mixed native." And she's like, "Well, you look like you could pass. And you should be going down to North Carolina," because they were filming either Conquest, 1492. They were filming the Pocahontas movie with Colin Farrell. You know where I could be now? If I would have just went with that, I wouldn't be right here. I would have my own studios and shit by now because that was so goddamn long ago. I did not get an Evan Almighty. The line closed before I could get there. There are other casting calls that I went all the way to Richmond for and stood in line for like 8 fucking hours, only not to be seen because they were only taking kids, and that was on a Sunday. They had the thing set up on Saturday and Sunday, but they only saw people on Sunday. And by the time I got to the line, now mind you, we done walked around the lobby twice in this line. And when we finally get to the staircase in which they're taking us up, I get to the top of the fucking stairs. The top of the stairs. And they say, "Okay, everybody, we are not seeing adults. Y'all can all go home." Now, let me tell y'all, we got there at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I only left the line twice to go pee. That was it. My surrogate father, Rick James Shiflett, or James Richard Shiflett, whatever you want to call him by, God rest his soul, he took and held my place in line. Then he went to pee. Came back, got in my place. It is now 4 o'clock. I didn't eat no breakfast. I didn't eat no lunch. He didn't eat no lunch. And this was before his diabetes started fucking with him and shit. By about 6 o'clock, he held my spot. I went to go pee. Got back in spot. This is about the time we're almost at the steps. I come back. He goes and pees. He comes back. It's like 8:30. We are in the middle of the motherfucking steps. By the time we got to the steps, probably about just about 9, if not 9. And they say, "Okay, y'all are done. We've seen all the people we're gonna see today, and everybody can go home." Now that pissed me off, and we didn't go home that night. By the way, we did go home eventually, but we didn't go home right then and there. Right there, we went to Richard's Rendezvous. That was a TNA bar, and so we're sitting in this titty bar. He's like, "Man," he was more mad than I was. And I said, "Yeah, that's kind of how it goes when you're in this business, man. You know, you get the casting call and you go, you know, and you pray somebody sees you so that you can get seen." And this was before the Evan Almighty shit. And so I'm in there. Let me turn these little jackasses down some more. I'm in there just knowing that I'm going to be seen. And it didn't happen. But we got to see a lot of boobage that day. When we left Richmond at almost 2 a.m. I'm pretty sure I bunked on this couch that night because I was just too tired to go the fuck home. So, because he drove me to Richmond, he drove me to the booby bar, and then he drove me home. He was a motherfucking soldier. That was my second father, yo. I miss him. I miss him terribly. Now, my biological father was there. He just wasn't there at that time. But he was in Richmond. I just didn't know where at the hell he was living at in Richmond. We called each other all the time. And this was before I joined the army and all kinds of other shit. And, yeah, I missed them both. But this ain't supposed to be about that. But that's why I'm not making any videos, even though this video has been like 15 minutes long. But that's what I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be watching these little asshats debate about who's really native and who's not, and why this shit just continues to happen. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Echo Fang Grey Wolf. This is Comfort Habit number 2. Be seeing you. I love y'all.